Hello everybody, Dibz here, and today I've got an Overwatch viewer analysis for you of MEI. If you guys don't know, this is going to be an analysis of HiChaos, who is around the 2500 SR level. So this is going to be in the platinum or goldish area, borderline platinum gold. And you can expect some decent level gameplay of his MEI. As you all know, MEI's Ice Wall can be very effective to the enemy team, but if you're not careful, it can actually have the same effect on your own team. In this analysis, we're going to pay very close attention to his MEI Ice Walls to see whether or not he made the right decision based on his strategy and see what he did correctly as well as what he can improve on. MEI is really good on these type of maps where there is a very tight first choke point. So maps like Hanamura and King's Row are pretty much where you want to be playing MEI. We're going to be playing MEI on attack as well as defense, so we're going to see how it turns out. If you guys want to actually skip directly to the analysis, you can click this link right here. But if you want to watch the gameplay, here it is. Alright, so let's start with the analysis. As y'all know, Mei is really good at holding this first choke point because if anybody tries to just walk through, you can literally just wall them off and put a wall behind them and they have nowhere to go. Unless, of course, they're like flankers. Flankers usually don't go to their front, though. They usually go to this top window. But I think it looks like he hears somebody. Yeah, it looks like he's hearing somebody. And as you know, Mei is a direct counter to Genji because of the way that she can freeze him, right? So now he has done a little bit of damage to him. Freezing him off right here is very, very nice. So this is very important for you to do as Mei. So actually, you have to have kind of a pretty good game sense to figure out what is happening with this Genji here. So you saw that his health was very, very low. So where would he go? He would go to the nearest health pack. He could have either went to the left or to the right. But it looked like he went to the right. And he is at this point right here. He knows, or HiChaos knows, that the Genji is at the health pack here. So there's literally no way for the Genji to escape if he ice walls this entire section off. And that's pretty much what he does. He ices off, and now he's pretty much stuck in with HiChaos. It's pretty much a really good strategy for him to do. It didn't have to be a Genji. It could have been any other hero. That's pretty much what you want to do. You want to block in other heroes with you and just freeze them and just shoot them and kill them. Very good strategy for him. It looks like this D.Va was able to escape. But Mei is also very good against D.Va because of the way that she can freeze D.Va. D.Va can't deflect it, or she can't absorb it like she normally can. Just the way that Genji can't absorb it. But right here, when he's trying to wall off the Hanzo from coming in, it doesn't really make any sense because if he does wall him off, the Hanzo can still actually climb over the wall and kind of escape. All right. So it's not really a big deal for him to kind of wall this off. I feel like he doesn't need it. But I mean, I guess he just wants to try it out and for giggles and stuff, I guess. But yeah, both Genji and Hanzo can climb over the walls. And yeah, that's what you want to do against when you get this, the targets frozen. You just freeze them, right click to the head continuously. And that's also very nice for him to do so, like what he just did. So he actually froze the D.Va first. And this is important because D.Va can absorb your ultimate with her defense matrix, right? So imagine if your D.Va, or if he is going against his D.Va, and he throws his ultimate and the D.Va, let's say, all of a sudden starts to use her defense matrix. It will eat up the Mei's ultimate, and you pretty much just waste it. So what he does first is he waits for him to be frozen, and then he throws it. Very, very smart for him to do it. But I feel like it is kind of a waste as well because you're just using it on one target, right? It's not big. It's not like a huge ultimate for him to be, like, it doesn't really affect the game that much by using his ultimate. I honestly think he could have just used his regular gun and taken out the D.Va himself and saved the ultimate for on the point, perhaps, and maybe use his ice block ability a little bit more and try to heal and survive a little bit longer to contest. But it looks like he wasn't able to do that. He didn't see the Hanzo behind him, of course. But, I mean, mistakes were made. But looks like they're able to take the first point. And he's just going to come around and try to see if he can get rid of the D.Va here. Freezing. Doing a good job. So this D.Va is having a lot of trouble. And that Mei Ice Wall was pretty useless. Didn't really do much. So I feel like he could use his Mei Ice Wall a little bit better. So right here, I felt that, like right here, I guess he could have stopped this D.Va. This is a D.Va, actually. You can't barely see it. But then I guess he was trying to stop the D.Va from flying out the back. But the D.Va went to the left. And he could have actually put a wall right here, a line, to block off the Tracer and the D.Va. But the Tracer could honestly recall and come back this way. But he would at least split them off for the time being, right? But this Maul was completely useless, I feel like. Didn't really do much. Freezing the D.Va and then getting bumped away by the Winston. But yeah, if you do a right click onto a Tracer or your alternate, and he's wasting his ice walls. Don't know what he's doing with them. But yeah, if you do your alternate fire and get a headshot on Tracer, it does 150 damage and it'll instantly kill a Tracer. Freezing him. He needs to be a little bit better on his headshots. Missed those headshots. Very vital actually, because if that soldier did have his rockets and used it on the Mei, he could take her out pretty easily. Always want to make sure you get those headshots. You want to aim a little bit above the head, typically. So let's see what happened there. So he froze him. Second time. The first... excuse me. So the first time that you freeze a soldier, you kind of want to try to freeze him outside of the biotic field, because if he's frozen, the biotic field is still healing him, right? He can take, or he can withstand your shots if he is in the biotic field. So you want to make sure that you keep shooting him and keep freezing him, and you don't get cocky and you look away right away. But he did end up shooting him. So you should aim a little bit higher than the head. Right here, his shoulder is actually blocking it. And you always want to make sure you know where the headshot box is as MEI. It's very important that you get those headshots right off the bat. If there was another person here, he probably would have died. So, I mean, obviously right there at that point he was aiming at him. Or he was looking directly at him, so it was okay. He's got his ultimate up. See what he can do. And he's taking a health pack because he doesn't really need the healing. Healing with your ice block does give you ultimate charge, so you always want to use it whenever you can. That's why MEI is really good at getting an ultimate charge now. It's really, really quick. You just gotta make sure that whenever you're taking damage, heal yourself up. And if you have your ultimate up already, don't heal yourself unless it's directly needed. Unless it's really, really like, you know, a life and death situation. That is when you should only heal yourself if you have your ultimate already. So right here at this point, I'm coming back here because this D.Va went to the back and to the left. What he could have actually done was ice block right here and just block it off. This D.Va wouldn't be able to escape. And then, well, you just be able to freeze him and then you just kill the D.Va pretty easily. Even though this D.Va did get taken out, it's always like, this is always the best situation for him to happen. He could have made a better situation out of this, out of that, but obviously somebody else was there to take advantage of it. So it's just what you would normally do. You always want to play at your best and see what you can do. Missing those headshots again. Definitely should have been a headshot. So let's look at that again. So whenever you freeze somebody, your reticle should automatically aim a little bit higher. Frozen. So, right, the reticle should be up here right now, not at the body. So that's one thing that HiChaos can work on. Getting those headshots, be a little bit more accurate with them. But he's really good with his ice walls. He's very, very good with his ice walls. Most of the time. Except for the random ones. There are some random ones, but I feel like he's not really trying that hard on that one. It looks like doing double teaming the Genji. Both counters, the Winston and also the MEI. Alright, so right here. So he sees a lot of people grouped up here, right? What he can actually do is, before going in and throwing his ultimate, he can wall off this side right here. Right? Because imagine if you wall off this side here and you throw your ultimate right in the middle of everybody here. Or what would actually even be better is if you wall and you connect the wall from this entrance here to this left side, so they can't even go into this room and escape for the health pack. Right? That would probably be the best thing for you to do before you throw your ult. Wall people off so they have nowhere to escape, and then throw your ultimate in there. But it looks like he just threw his ultimate in there. And against Zarya, Zarya's bubble does take them out of the bubble, or the freeze. Right? But that's also very important for you to choose which targets to go for first whenever you freeze enemies. So he throws his ultimate, right? Let's go over again. Right. So he sees that this Zarya uses her bubble. She gets out of the freeze, and he sees that this soldier is frozen first. You want to go for those targets first, kill them off first, instead of trying to go after the Zarya because the Zarya is bubbled and she's not frozen, right? You want to go after the weak targets that are susceptible to your damage. Taking them out, and the Zarya just disappears. Oh, right here. He could wall off. He could wall off if he wanted to. Didn't do so. Punching him like I always do. I like punching him to death. It's always funny. Splitting them off. Alright. HiChaos splitting off the healers from the tanks. And I felt like he should have actually taken down his wall at this point. After this Zarya died, he could push E again or push your ice wall ability again, and it will take down this wall. Because you saw that the Lucio went around to the other side to escape. He could honestly be on the other side as well, or not. Maybe not. You don't know. But you want to take down the wall because it's not really needed. Right? But it's still up even after he dies, right? So, but imagine that if you actually, if you die, you cannot take your ice wall down. Right? Even if it's up, he did it right there, yeah. So, if you get taken out and you die and your ice wall is up, you cannot bring it down after you're dead. So that's a good note, because you don't want to be putting it up in random areas and then pretty much screw your own team over and then die and not be able to take it down. It's very important for you to know when to use your ice wall, and sometimes you do die without knowing that's going to happen. But if you do know you're going to die and you want to take down your ice wall, you should do it as soon as possible, or you could really do more harm to your team than good. So, alright, so looks like he's coming up to the spot here, going against his Genji. This Genji is not switching. Should honestly be switching, but this is quick play, of course. I'm not sure what that ice wall was going to do, but... Alright, ice blocking. Good. Freezing, trying to freeze him at least. But his aim was a little bit off. Definitely could have actually got that freeze on the soldier. Doing pretty well though. Trying to freeze people who are using their ultimates is very important. It's kind of like your CC. It stops heroes from channeling their ultimate. It's very, very nice for you to do so. You can freeze Roadhog's ultimate when he's using his. You can freeze Soldier's ultimate. You can freeze, what was it? Winston's, but it won't stop the ultimate. Roadhog is a channel, that's the thing though. You interrupt the channel, then it will stop the ultimate. But Soldier's ultimate and Winston's ultimate are not channels. They are basically a certain duration. If you freeze them, they'll get frozen, but it will continue on after that. So you want to make sure that you know which ultimates do get stopped and which ones don't. Alright, using his ultimate for one Zarya, not really worth it again. And also, yep, this is also important because if you throw your ultimate here, let's see, let's go back. So he throws his ultimate here. It's literally right where he is. This is where the ultimate is, right? The Zarya is able to bubble and escape it and go into this room. If you didn't know, if this robot that does the ultimate is not in line of sight of a target, it will not freeze it. So if this Zarya goes onto the other side of this wall, it will show that this radius here is getting frozen, but it's actually not. Okay, you gotta make sure that whenever you throw your ultimate, that it's not directly on the opposite side of the wall, where they can just run and they can escape it. Right. So if you take a look back right here, a better place for him to throw it would literally be right here at this doorway. If you put it right here at this doorway here, the radius will cover this area here and also cover the inside of the room itself. Okay, so whenever you throw an ultimate and you want to try to cover both sides, you always want to throw it at a doorway if you can. Because yeah, like this soldier is not even getting frozen. Even though he did get bubbled, he is not getting frozen. You can tell because your freeze also stacks with your ultimate. So if you don't know, Mei's gun, her main attack, freezes the target after being channeled for 1.5 seconds. Her ultimate freezes the target in 3.5 seconds. But if you have the ultimate affecting a target and also you stack your Mei freeze on the target, you'll be able to freeze the target in 0.75 seconds. So basically half the time it takes for her to use her main gun to attack. It freezes pretty quickly. And so every time you throw, you always want to start freezing people as soon as possible. And then, because 3.5 seconds to freeze is quite a while. If you use your main gun, you can freeze the target instantly and continue headshotting the rest of the targets after you kill one. Tracer does use her recall, able to stop the freezer timer, and wasting his wall right there. So right here, he sees the Tracer blink, and he ice walls behind it. This Tracer can actually recall back to an area where he was behind the ice wall and not getting stuck there. So you don't ever want to waste an ice wall on the Tracer. It's typically not worth it, but he might have been able to block other people from coming in, but I think he was trying to block the Tracer off. But usually Tracers will be able to recall out whenever. But this is also very important right here. He's waiting for somebody to come in and then ice wall behind. Very smart, very smart. Typically what you want to do, this is actually one of my favorite places to do it, because a lot of people always come to the front. If you can do it one by one and take out healers, take out tanks, they're going to be like, okay, well, let's not go to the front then. They're going to have to find another way to do it, another way to come from. But you can also do it from the level up there as well. So you can do it anywhere. You can do it in any entrance. You can block these off, stop people from coming in. That's a good block on the Hanzo, but he did realize that the soldier was on the left and did not take the chance to go up for it. He didn't want to get into a dangerous situation, which is pretty smart by him. Kind of just basically waiting around and seeing how dangerous the situation is before going in. But right now you see that he has a vision, and this soldier is just sitting here. And yeah, he's just gonna wall it off so nobody can run and nobody can come in, and basically he's blocking off damage at the same time from the outer area. So that's also very important as well. So what he does here, the reason why he blocks it off is not only because he wants to stop the soldier from running, but he also wants to stop damage from coming in while he's busy dealing with this soldier. It protects you. It's basically, she's tanking for herself with this ice wall. Each pillar can absorb 500 damage, which is quite a lot of damage. The only one that's really good at taking it down is Bastion. And I think that's pretty much it. Anybody else will take forever to try to bring down the shield. So yeah, blocks it off, stops them from escaping, and stops damage from coming into you while you're dealing with other heroes. Alright, so he got an ultimate taken out, and right there is also very important because what he was trying to do was use his ice wall to stop any incoming damage. So you see him, he sees that he is freezing, and right now, look what he's doing. He is trying to actually use his ice wall to block off any incoming damage from this doorway. Usually whenever you get inside a Zarya ultimate, damage is going to be coming in. There's going to be ultimates coming from all over the place, and you want to block off with your wall and try to stop the damage from coming onto yourself and the rest of your team, because your entire team is going to be here. Most of the time, when Zarya uses her ultimate, there's going to be like a wombo combo is what they call it. There's going to be like grenades coming all over the place, but he was going to try to do it. Look at it. His reaction was throw his ice wall right away, but it's on cooldown. So he's like, what? And so there's nothing he can do. So he just uses his ice block to kind of save himself. But there's really nothing to save himself from. And yeah, able to take out this, trying to get rid of him, but he actually ran out of ammo. One important thing for you to actually know is right here as well. Blocking it off, some damage right here. Freezing. Alright, so I'm not exactly sure if this target is already frozen, but if you don't know, if you have even 1 ammo, you can still use your alternate fire ability and it will still deal full damage. Her alternate fire ability actually is supposed to take 25 ammo, but if you have anything less than 25 ammo, it will just take whatever is remaining and deal maximum damage. It's pretty useful because you can just spray them until you have 10, and then you don't have to reload. You can actually just spam your alternate into their heads and kill them that way. But it looks like he ran out of ammo, and he's trying to punch him to death. I think he should have reloaded a little bit earlier before. So throwing his ultimate down again. Feel like it's still a little bit wasteful. Definitely could have killed the Zarya without it. And being a little bit too aggressive with his main attack. So if you don't know, Mei's main attack does 75 damage, and this Hanzo is already at half-life. Instead of trying to spray him down, I would honestly just try to use my alternate fire and get a headshot or even just a body shot to kill this Hanzo. He was super low. Even at this point, even if you already did your spray a little bit, he is, well, you can't see it right now, but he has like 2 bars left. And at this point, he should have just used his alternate fire and try to finish off the Hanzo. You don't always have to finish him off by having them frozen first, right? Most of the time, I like to spam my icicle quite a bit. It does a lot of damage. 150 is a huge amount if you are able to get a lot of targets. Right, so he's blocking it off right there, blocking the ultimate from the soldier. Pretty good job. And he's just waiting up here to see what's going on. Could have been a good opportunity if he didn't use his ice wall there, but this is another thing I want to go over. So if this friendly Roadhog hooked this other Roadhog, right? Or actually hooked this Hanzo, he could have walled off behind this Hanzo, or actually, when this other enemy Hanzo enemy Roadhog hooked the friendly Roadhog, he could actually put a wall in between the hook target and stop the other Roadhog from dealing damage. So whenever a Roadhog hooks another target, there is this slight delay before he starts pulling. You can actually use that time to put an ice wall between the 2 targets, and the hook will be negated pretty much. It's very nice. You have to be really quick on it though. It's kind of hard to do most of the time, but if you can do it, it can save a potential key target on your enemy or on your own team. Like let's say a Roadhog hooks a healer on your team, right? You can save the healer pretty much, and that can keep your sustain on your team alive. This is pretty funny. It just keeps the spraying. And also, again, wasting an ultimate. Definitely needs to work on his ultimates. Of course, using the crouch spam. Gotta do the crouch spam as always. Waiting for the diva. Alright, going through. Soldier's coming up. Yeah, you should know that the soldier's coming from behind. Alright, look how much charge he's getting from that. He got like 20% charge just from using his ultimate. Another wasted ice wall. No point for her to be behind the soldier. Crouch spam. But yeah, there are some times where he had pretty good ice walls, but a lot of them seem to be pretty random at this point. Not exactly sure what those ice walls behind the soldier were going to be doing. So looks like he's just up here. Nothing much going on. And also, this is actually a pretty good spot for you to hold as Mei, because you can aim for this door right here, and you can block people off coming through, or you can aim right here and stand right on top right here, and you can block people off coming from the bottom main entrance. So you can block 2 entrances if you're at this point. It's very strong for you to be here, and I recommend people who are playing Mei to stay here. It's very nice, because if you have enough trouble, or if you have trouble of people coming in and you start getting flanked, you can easily just jump down onto the point and people can protect you. And this is a very strong position to hold here. Alright, got a Roadhog. That Mei ice wall should have been the other direction, right? So right here, put a Mei ice wall down. If you push your ice wall button again before you cast it, it starts off horizontally, right, left and right. But if you push it again, it switches up and down. So you can actually do that right here, and you can actually block this entire entrance even though he's on this side. But it looked like he was pushing it, and then it ended up pushing up the Roadhog instead of actually blocking the entrance. And could have done a little bit better than that, and the soldier would have been left behind. But of course, the Tracer does get a triple kill off of that. Pretty nice. But I think he was trying to actually block it off vertically. I mean, not vertically, but you know, up and down, forward and back. This is the y-axis, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say. I mean, this is the 3-dimension, and you can only do the wall in 2 dimensions, right? I mean, well, it's considered 3 dimensions because it goes up automatically, but anyway, whatever. Freezing the Diva. Throwing his ultimate a little bit early. I would have waited till the very end to do it. Or at least wait until somebody started to contest, right? But that's actually very good and important as well. Whenever you are contesting the point and the match is about to end and he's about to go into overtime, if you throw your ultimate onto the point, look how big it is, right? Look how large the radius is. This just goes to show you how big the buff for Mei really is. It used to be 8 meters a radius, now it's 10 meters as a radius. So if he throws it right in the center, right, it covers literally the entire thing. Look at this, right here. This is the corner, this is the left corner. And then on the right side, you can see how much it covers. Right there, it's hard to see, but it does cover pretty much the entire point, right? He's looking around, it's covering this side, it's covering the right, everything. The entire point is covered. So it's very strong for you to throw your ultimate onto the point when it's being contested, for overtime especially. Whenever it's overtime, you want to throw your ultimate directly at the center of the point, so anybody trying to come in will either get frozen, they will get frozen and they will die, or basically you're trying to area deny the point, right? Because if you are putting it on the point and people get onto it, they will die, and people don't want to get onto the point, obviously, because they're going to get frozen. So you're just basically stopping them or preventing them from getting onto it, and of course, if it's overtime, they will have to suffer or they will lose the game, right? So that's pretty much what you want to do. During overtime, always throw your ultimate onto the payload whenever there's people on it. It's very useful. Your enemy team can pretty much just stop them from coming over. Or you can allow yourself to push the payload as well, right? Instead of if you're at the very end of the payload and you're very near the end, and you can throw your ultimate onto the payload, and everybody else that's trying to contest it or contesting will die, and then you can push it forward into the end. So on both sides, even on attack and defense, it's very powerful for you to throw your ultimate onto the point. But yeah, anyways, that's going to be for defense. Mei does play out a little bit differently on attack, and we're going to see how that goes. Overall, I feel like HiChaos did do pretty well this on defense. He just needs to work a little bit on his aiming on the headshots and try not to waste his ultimate and throw ice walls at random places. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna go on to attack. All right, so for attack, HiChaos gave me this game where he's playing on Gibraltar. Gibraltar is actually a pretty good place for Mei to be played because there's a lot of doorways that you can block off as Mei. You can trap them with you, you can block people off from multiple areas, and it's very nice for you to play Mei on this map, I feel like. It's not very strong, it's not as strong as playing defense on Hanamura or what was the other map, King's Row, but on payload I feel like this is actually pretty powerful. So we're gonna see how it goes. We want to see how it goes on a payload map, right? So we saw a control point, and you saw how strong Diva really is, but she's also pretty good on attack points or payloads. Right, freezing the Diva. Diva was able to get away though, not being able to do as much damage because she wasn't really aiming for the head as much. Alright, what is he doing here? He could honestly be blocking the Mercy from the Diva here at this point. So what he should normally do here, before anything, right, the first thing he should do is, once he sees them jump off, go right here and block off right here. What you can do, block off this Mercy from this Diva and then start freezing the Diva. Or what you could do is you can actually block off this section here. Basically, all he has to do is run towards the Mercy, block off behind him so the Diva can't get around, and then start shooting the Mercy. That would actually probably be better for him to do instead of going for the Diva. The Diva's a tank, takes forever to kill. But if you take out the Mercy, then the enemy team has no healer. And it'll be a lot better for him, it'll be a lot more efficient for him to kill a healer instead of just going for the Diva. So he kind of tunnel visioned here at this point, I think. He also had another opportunity right there to kind of just block off, but it doesn't seem like he was on top of that this game. So a little bit of a mistake there. Alright, so he's jumping out here. Using his right click a little bit more this game. Pretty good. Getting those hits. Oh, getting a dink on what was it? The Diva. So also, obviously, you know that Diva does have 150 life outside of her suit. So a right click will, or a alternate fire will kill her in the head. So, oh yeah, if you guys don't know, if you use your ice wall ability and the payload goes through it, it will just break through the ice wall. So ice walls cannot stop the payload from moving. Important to know. I feel like he wasted his ultimate again as well. Didn't really use it with everybody else on the team or a big group. Alright. Could have blocked off again. But eventually they were actually able to take him out. And I think at this point he should be using his heal. Yeah, right now he shouldn't actually be grabbing that health pack. He should be using his ice cryo freeze, which is his alternate ability, or not alternate, his health ability or his escape ability to gain health, gain ultimate charge, pretty much for free, right? Since you're hurt, you might as well. You don't have to gain a health pack. You're not in a dangerous situation. So they have vision. He knows that this Genji's here, trying to freeze him. I don't know what this Genji is still doing here. This Genji honestly should be scared out of his butt and trying to get out of there. Oh, the Zenyatta almost got him. Just a little bit early. Just a tad bit too early. Dodging that hook from the left. He saw that coming, so he kind of backed off. Pretty smart. Going after this Roadhog. Spamming. Alright, now... I guess he was using it to try to avoid damage. Another wasted ult. So, yeah. One thing for sure. Work on your ultimates. And right there, you didn't actually have to go right in front of the Genji. So you see him slicing and dicing people, right? He's at 86 life. He shouldn't be running up to this Genji because he knows that he's going to get shot in. He's going to die in one shot. So there's really no reason for him to be trying to attack this, this Genji. He honestly should have just backed up right here. Stay around in his radius right here. And wait for the Genji to try to attack him and then try to freeze him at least. That's better than just running out and trying to attack him. So no idea why he went out there. Probably a little bit too gung-ho. A little bit aggressive. Because the team is winning and I just feel like he's kind of just going out of nowhere. But let's see what happens next. Alright, there's a lot of people here actually. So right here would have been a good time for him to use his ultimate instead of wasting it on that Roadhog. Because he used it on this Roadhog by himself. You don't want to be using your ultimate ever on one person. Usually you don't. Unless you're trying to stop an ultimate. That is probably the only time you would want to use your ultimate just for one person. In my personal opinion. Because you can just use your regular gun, your main attack, and you can freeze them yourself. Pretty much just as fast, in my opinion. Blocking this side wall. That was pretty smart, though. So there's a lot of people here. There's a Widowmaker up top, and you have Lucio here, and you have a lot of damage dealers on the enemy team here. And they're basically facing him and attacking him. What he did was he wanted to block it off, and then walk directly in here. So basically, it allows him to walk in here without taking any damage, and he can go after this Roadhog. But it was a little bit off, and he just got stuck. But yeah, just a little bit of a small error. Trying to deal as much damage as you can. Trying to freeze him. Doesn't seem like it's working out very well. This Roadhog is doing very well in jumping. Blocked off that soldier. Not the ideal situation. He was trying to block off damage to save himself, but he ended up blocking the soldier, and the soldier wasn't able to do damage. So that's one example of hurting his own teammates. Usually, it's pretty much the first time he hurt his teammates. Most of them were a little bit useless, but there are times where it can actually be bad for your team. And you kind of want to avoid those situations whenever you can. Throwing his ultimate onto the payload. Pretty good. Good job. That's smart. Using your right alternate. Going for the targets that are frozen. Grabbing the health pack. Stealing the health pack. Very good. Alright, he's on his headshots today. Or in this game at least. So he's able to take out the soldier pretty well. Takes two headshots to kill a soldier when he's frozen. Or when he's in his health biotic field at least. It still does take 2 shots, but he's able to heal through it a little bit more, or a lot more quickly, if he's in it. So yeah, Mei, the same idea applies to Mei when she's on attack. Basically, you want to block people off from each other. Like that. That's also really good. Whenever they're trying to contest, you can just block people off one by one. Let them go, let them through, ice wall, let them through, ice wall, let them through. Just keep blocking people off when they try to come through. Or you can just completely just block them off entirely and then just stick on the payload and they just can't contest it. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with Mei, especially on attack as well. And throwing your ultimate onto the entrance is also very, very good, because if they come out, they just die, right? I like that. So Mei can be really, really annoying on attack, especially on the payload. Once you get to the very end though, and if you have a Mei, I feel like there's a huge advantage that you have. If you have a good Mei and he's ice walling the people just coming in one by one, it slows them down quite a bit. And I'm starting to think that now, after we get to the payload, after this certain point, when it's around this area, be right across this bridge here, I feel like switching to Mei maybe, and then if you're actually able to just kill one by one and you can block off the entrance, you can continuously just stop them from coming out, and it will pretty much almost guarantee you a win in pushing the payload. But yeah, I feel like that's about it for this one. HiChaos overall did really well. He understands what Mei is supposed to do. He understands that Mei is supposed to split people off from each other, and he can block entrances. But I feel like he has to be a little bit more accurate on putting those ice walls in locations, especially when you are attacking somebody. I think that whenever he is shooting somebody, he sometimes throws the ice wall in the wrong locations. Just stay a little bit more focused on putting your ice walls in the correct locations and aim for those headshots. I think you'll be okay. But also, the ultimates, they do need to be used a little bit more wisely. Her ultimate is really powerful, and you don't want to be throwing them around and wasting them like that, I feel like. They can be a real huge tide turner, and if you keep throwing them around and you don't really use them correctly, there's going to be one time in which you see that you do really need it and you're not going to have it, and you can be like, well, I shouldn't have used it before, right? But it didn't happen in this time, but I feel like in that competitive scene, it probably would have happened. But anyways, yeah, overall pretty good. Just need to work on those things a little bit more. And yeah, anyways, give him a round, I guess. But he was pretty brave to send his own replay. And hope you guys like this one. I usually do Tracer, Genji, and I don't mind doing Mei and other heroes. I do play Mei quite a bit. But yeah, if you want to send your own replay, it can be in the form of a YouTube video or an MP4. You can email that to me at dibzgaming@hotmail.com. And I will try to get through them as fast as possible. A lot of people have been sending them in, and I'm trying to get through all of them. I usually go through them whichever has the best quality as much as possible. But then the thing is, I said I was going to do HiChaos first, but I ended up doing somebody else's. So I'm doing this one now. But yeah, try to get it as good of a quality as you can. And it doesn't really matter the length. I would probably have around, I think 15 to 20 would be pretty good. So yeah, send with any hero that you think you want to have analyzed. It could be support, DPS, or tank. And yeah, I'll see if I can do it. Anyways, you can send that dibzgaming@hotmail.com. But I hope you guys liked this one and learned something from it for those of you who are playing Mei. And yeah, that's going to be it. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.